Welcome everyone. Sharada Devi here, welcoming you to our Ritualize Your Life challenge. 36 days in total, and today we are at day 28. So let's take a moment to offer our prayers, invocation for another deep initiation, and for Ganesha to remove the obstacles, and for Sarasvati, the goddess of knowledge, to be with us. Especially today, every day, especially today, is dedicated actually to her. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Aim Hreem Om Sarasvatyai Namaha. Aim Hreem Om Sarasvatyai Namaha. Aim Hreem Om Sarasvatyai Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Okay, welcome Theo, welcome Ulrika, hello Sandra, hello Julia, hello Laura, welcome Amrita, and welcome all those that are going to watch the replay. And in the last few days, usually people have joined after some time and people have come and left, but many of you have really stayed. I've seen now many of you being with me, some of you every single day since 28 days, and I really want to celebrate that with you. Let's just take a moment to really feel this in our heart, that we've been showing up here 28 days. And for those that are joining the first time today, and it's the first time you meet me, it's an honor to meet you. Those that I don't know and who are coming for the first time for the Ritualize Your Life challenge. We have been doing this now for 28 days, and rituals have been with me, have been part of my life for the last 20 years. They have profoundly blessed me, and I've had the privilege to live in Bali as well as in India, and especially in Bali, the culture is one of rituals. Their life is looked upon as an offering. The island is called Bali, and it means an offering. And so I'm here sharing with you what has blessed my heart profoundly, the Vedic vision of oneness. And so also for those that are joining for the first time, let's just take a moment to celebrate and feel that in our heart, that we can celebrate also that we are here today, that we have been given another day to live. Like nor you nor I, we didn't know if we would wake up this morning. But we all did. Like you, I, hello Erin, hello Anna, hello Katarina, welcome back. Like we are all here, and that means we've been given one more day to live. And can we just take a moment to celebrate our existence? Anando Ham. This is the first mantra we've learned in this challenge. Anando Ham. Ananda Aham, limitless fullness, I am. And for those that are joining me for the first time and you want to say Anando Ham, Anando Ham, it means limitless fullness, I am. What does it mean? I'm fullness, I am limitless. My existence is limitless. And maybe like there's a voice that pops up and says, wow, what is she saying? How can that be true? I don't know myself as such, so how can I say this? And I hear you. I felt exactly the same when I heard this the first time. Like, how can it be and how can I say this? But then I want to ask you, so that you can ask yourself, how can it not be? How can you not be limitless fullness? How can you not be whole and complete? here and now? How can you not be the most precious being? How can you not be sacred? It cannot be any other way. In spite of the feelings that may tell us that we don't feel whole, we don't feel complete, I invite you to give the benefit of doubt for this ritual today, for this initiation, and just listen in, like a visitor. For those that are new and meeting me the first time, just listen in and hear what Mother Veda is the body of knowledge of India, says. What does Veda say? What is the heart of yoga, of tantra, of Vedanta? What are they really saying? What is the true purpose of all the mantras and kriyas and yantras and all the practices we are doing as a human being? What is the purpose of all our actions? What is the purpose of life even? And so if you're interested in these questions, I invite you to stay and just listen and see what it does to you. And maybe it moves you, maybe it touches you. And if it's not for you, that's totally fine. If it's not for you and you say like, it doesn't resonate with me, this is too weird, then that's fine. Like, honor that. But we can all just celebrate our existence. Like, even if you don't believe that you're whole and complete, you still exist right now, right here. And so you can also celebrate your limited existence. We can celebrate the limited body, and the limited mind, and this limited existence of everything we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, of everything we know. Yes, it's limited, but we can also celebrate that. And most of us, we only celebrate when we have a birthday. Then that's a reason to celebrate. Or a reason to celebrate is when I graduate, or when I make a lot of money, or when I made a name for myself. So what we've learned in the West is that only if we really achieved something really, really big, then there's a reason to celebrate. But is that really true? Do I have to wait for my birthday? Do I have to wait to accomplish something? Do I have to wait to become someone in order to celebrate? Maybe not. Maybe we can celebrate here and now. The simple fact that you and I exist, that we are here, and we've been given one more day to live. And just see what happens in your body. When you go into celebration, like, how does your body feel? What happens? What are the sensations? Is there an expansion of the heart? Is there a joy? Maybe the luggage we're carrying around, it can just drop off our shoulders. Because what happens is when we drop our agenda for things to be different than what they are, we command happiness that has no reason. I say that again. When we drop our agenda for things, including people, to be different than what they are, you command happiness that has no reason. And we call that akasmat sukham. Akasmat means causeless, sukham, happiness. And you can attain that happiness immediately, here and now, at any given time, at any given moment, wherever you are. All you gotta do is drop your agenda for things to be different than what they are. And we can command a fullness, a happiness that has no reason. When we have this understanding that I can celebrate my existence, I can celebrate that I am, I exist. And the truth is that my existence, and when I say my existence, your existence, is full, is complete, is whole, in itself, by itself. You always exist. There was never a moment when you did not exist. Nothing in this world really has added to you or taken away from you. You have been the same being all the way through. Your body has changed, your relationships have changed, your circumstances have changed, your account has changed. So much is constantly changing. But you have not changed. You are the changeless being. And that changeless being is what we refer to as that limitless, whole existence that is you, that is meant by the mantra Anandoham, Anandoham, Anandoham. So you can celebrate every single day your birthday. Because your birthday in reality is every day. It's every night, it's every moment. Because there's never a moment when you do not exist. You are the very source of existence. You are the very source of existence. Because of you, everything exists. So you're giving actually birth to everything and everyone immediately, here and now. So you can celebrate this every single day, every moment. Anandoham, Anandoham, Anandoham. Aham vrikshasya reriva, kirtif prashtangireriva, urdvapavitro vajiniva swamrtamasmi. Here is a beautiful mantra where the one is coming and shouting out to the whole universe. When he, she, they realize that they are more famous than anything or anyone. Kirtihim is fame. I am that which is most famous. I am that which is known by everything and everyone. That's me, that's you, that's all of us. So welcome. So if you want, you can slowly open your eyes if you haven't yet. So celebrating all of you who are here every day with me for already 28 days. And for those that are joining the very first day, and if we meet the very first time, it's my honor to meet you here. I'm Sharada Devi, and I am a spiritual mentor, a Vedic wisdom teacher, and a sacred SCX UALITY. It's a word I cannot say here in Instagram, but intimacy teacher. I'm the founder and entrepreneur of Devi School, where spirituality meets embodiment. And I'm originally Swiss Philippine, and I've been living outside of Switzerland since 22 years, as I've been on this journey towards Moksha, freedom, for the last 22 years, which brought me to Venezuela. It brought me to India to study many years in India and live in Bali, in the culture of the Vedas, basically. And so today I'm here with you to initiate all those that are joining today or watching the replay into the 28th initiation, as we're doing this challenge of ritualizing our life. Because the Veda says when we ritualize our life, everything becomes meaningful, everything becomes purposeful. We reclaim the beauty that is here and now as yourself. We go from the profane to the sacred, and we become a contributor, and we neutralize competition. Because most of us, we grew up in in a competitive society. Like me, I grew up in Switzerland. It's all about competition. And actually right now I am in Switzerland, and it's for the first time in many, many years I'm back here for August 1st. And August 1st is the birthday of Switzerland. So, and we are celebrating today, you, me, all of us, our existence. But it's also birthday here in Switzerland, of Switzerland. So I thought, why not celebrate? Take this occasion. And so through ritualizing our life, we discover that we have been given the infinite. Truly, we discover that there is nothing I lack, that there's infinite abundance. And when we discover that, it helps us to get out of this scarcity mindset. It helps us to get out of the sense of poverty. And it helps us to get out of this sense of competition, right? We're only competing because we have a sense of lack. We have a sense of inadequacy. We have a sense of that I'm poor. And so there's a sense that you have something that I don't have. There's someone that has something that I don't have. And so we're competing against each other. And naturally that leads to comparison. And then naturally comparison leads to suffering. And so the antidote, according to the Veda, which is the most ancient body of knowledge, all spiritual traditions really use the teachings of the Veda. Like you see, I've studied the shamanic tradition, I've studied the Taoistic tradition, I've studied some from the Egyptian tradition, and everyone really uses the words of the Veda, like karma, dharma, chakras, like all of these concepts, which are not really concepts, but they're all teaching methodologies. They're all applied by all the different traditions worldwide. And so the Vedic tradition is really the one that has still been kept intact, is still practiced, is still alive. You can still go to India, you can go to Bali, and you have a whole culture embodying this vision. What kind of vision? The vision of wholeness. The vision of wholeness, which means, what does it mean, the vision of wholeness? It means that through the lens of the Veda, you and I, we are a whole and complete being. Every being is whole in its essence. And not only that, the vision of wholeness, it also refers to the oneness. We call it the Aikyam, the Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat Aikyam. Aikyam means oneness, Jiva means the individual, the Jagat means the world, and Ishvara means God. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Aikyam. It means the oneness between the individual, the world, and God. And we don't know that the world and I are the same. If we would know, if you would know that you are the world, you would not compete. What would you have to compete? You have everything already. You are everything already. But we don't. We've been born into a society where we are taught that you and I are different. We were born into a society where we were even born as sinners, and we have to redeem ourselves through all the good actions in order to deserve to come into eternal heaven. And if we are not according to that particular law, we will end up in eternity in hell. And so, of course, most of us, we have completely refuted and rejected this kind of belief, which is, of course, hopefully, it's a belief that is unbelievable, and it's, of course, not true. But then we lack the spiritual sentiment, we lack the depths. And so then the meaning of life, the purpose of life. And so then for a long time, like our career, our status, our fame, and all of that becomes very important because we have nothing else to hold on to. But then at one point, that also is not sufficient anymore. Then we have achieved the relationship, we have achieved the money, we have achieved the status, we have achieved to buy 3 houses, we have achieved to buy a Mercedes-Benz. And then what? And then I have this big house with all the Gucci shoes and with everything I want, or I thought I wanted, but still I am not happy. And when I say that, I never say this in any way in a derogative sense. It doesn't mean you should not have Gucci shoes. I don't even know if there are Gucci shoes actually. But doesn't mean you shouldn't have any brands or designer. Like I have a part of me that likes this kind of designer things. And so it's never meant in any derogative way, but it is meant to help us discover that these things that we thought will give us something, it doesn't give us anything really. Doesn't give us anything substantial. And so then we have all of that, but nothing can fill this eternal whole. And we're just adding and sometimes subtracting, and still this whole remains. And here the whole is HOLE, because I feel empty. I feel I lack. And then I go to the substances, or I go to SEX, or we have all these different ways to not feel this whole, because it's deeply, cruciatingly painful to feel so empty. And so then we numb ourselves, and we have to take medicine in order to not feel anymore. But then the next day I have to take something really strong in order to feel something. And that's a vicious cycle. And so the Veda, which is the oldest spiritual heritage, which also the literature, which we call the Shastra, is still available. It hasn't been burned. You still have the Shastra, the literature is still here. Like, this knowledge was available in many other cultures, definitely. But in many other cultures it was burned, it was destroyed. But in India it wasn't. We still have the literature, we still have the Vedas, we still have, which is called the Shrutis, that which is heard. We still have the Smritis, that which is remembered, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayanam, all these incredible epics. We have the Puranas, incredible stories and mythology. We have the literature is so vast, where you can find these teachings, the vision of oneness, and how to attain it, how to abide in it. And it gives you a map that you can follow step by step without bypassing any of your needs, any of your desires. Actually, the Veda helps you to fulfill all your desires, but in a way so that it doesn't hurt anyone, nor yourself, so that you fulfill these desires in a way that is dharmic, we call it, where we are taking into consideration the other being, and so that I'm not harming, but actually the other beings are also gaining and benefiting from my desire. And so then these desires are called loka sangarhartam. Loka sangarhartam means desires that are ultimately good for all beings. And then this is what we call a dharmic desire, which is a privilege, is looked upon as a privilege, and is then looked upon as a desire of God, because Goddess wants everyone to be abundant and prosperous and happy. Veda, or the Goddess, the God image, is not one of judgment and one of duality, one of who separates. No, in the Vedic vision, Goddess is Ishvara, we call it Ishvara, that which, Isha means that which protects, Isha, that which protects. Also that which is all-pervasive, like the space. Space is all-pervasive. Everything exists within space. Nothing can exist outside of space. That's like Ishvara, Isha is all-pervasive. And so that Isha, that Ishvara, is in the form of the Jagat. Jagat means the world. Its form, if it would have a form, is the form of the world, beginning with space, air, fire, water, earth, the 5 elements, Panchamahabhutas, and then from there, these 5 elements are intelligently put together, as we can see every single day when we wake up. Like, that's what we've been discovering this every single day, that this is not a dumb being, this is an infinite intelligent being. Like, I wake up, I can breathe, I've been given hands, I can go out of the bed and walk, I can go and drink water, I can take a shower. So we've been recognizing the intelligence in every part of our existence. And so Goddess Ishvara is in the form of the Jagat, the world. And the Jiva, the individual, is part and partial of the Jagat. The Jiva is never separate from the Jagat. The person, you, who has taken yourself to be different from the world, is never different from the world. That is a wrong notion. We call it ajnana, self-ignorance. It's simply a wrong notion, a wrong belief, a wrong judgment. That's it. There is no truth in the separation between you, the world, you and God, in other words. Right? So imagine you and I, we would have been born into a culture where the vision is one of oneness, Aikyam. Right? Our life would be completely different. All the judgments we make, all the stress we're experiencing, all the running after and running away and manipulating and controlling, it wouldn't be there, at least not to that extent. So the Veda says, like, ritualize your life to get out of this comparison, this competition, which is harmful, which goes completely against your nature, by the way, and ritualize your life, because in that you discover the infinite intelligence being. You see that you're always taken care of. You discover that you're part and parcel of this universe, and you start to become a contributor. And when you are a contributor, then you are a fit person in order to discover the truth. What is the truth? The oneness between you, the world, and God, the Aikyam. That's the truth. There's nothing that you need to do, nothing you have to become, nothing you have to have. It is simply a discovery of an already accomplished fact. It's called praptasya praptihi, accomplishing the accomplished. Accomplishing the accomplished. But we require a maturity, a fitness for that, a mature mind that is able to see things clearly as they are. And most of us, like, we're living in our subjectivity, we're living in our pain, we're living from the inner child. We see the world through this separation, through the duality. And so this ritualizing of our life, it helps us to come to a vision of oneness, a sense of oneness. Maybe we don't have yet knowledge or embodiment, but we have a sense, we have a trust, we have a bhava, we have an attitude of oneness. And so then we're living our life according to this bhava, this sense. And it's so beautiful to do that through the ritualizing our life, through ritualizing our words, our bathing, our dressing. And so if you want to see all the steps that we've been doing so far, all of these steps from the last 27 days are on my feed. You can go back and see each and every step. And so today we are at day 28, which is dedicated to sacred duties. So it goes very much into what we're speaking today, this life of being a contributor, or this life of contribution. Because when I am contributing and developing this attitude of contribution, then I grow. I grow profoundly. It's like a mother and a father. The greatest challenge and the greatest way of growing as a human being is to become a mother and a father. And there's no greater sacrifice than being a mother and a father. So in the Veda, being a mother and a father is looked upon as one of the highest, if not the highest form of sacred duty, of the highest form or the highest role that we can play as a human being, that will give us the greatest objectivity, that will give us the greatest also punyam, actually spiritual wealth. It requires everything from us to being a mom and a dad. Like, it's not about I anymore, it's about this child. And so to become a mom and a dad is looked upon as deeply, it's very honored. Like, the role of mother and father is profoundly honored in the Veda. And that is so important to know also, because it gives us, again, a deeper recognition and a deeper value of being a mother and a father. In our Western society, we don't look being a mother and a father as such an honorable way of living. Right? And it's not. Right? Especially a mom. Like a dad, okay, maybe a little bit more, but a mom, okay, you're a mom, you're taking care of the kids and you cook. Right? And most moms do not feel empowered in being a mom. They don't feel like, wow, like I'm doing something really amazing and I contribute to the greater good of all beings. I know so many moms who are suffering and lack this self-confidence. But that's why like it helps so much to have the guidance of Mother Veda, because there in the Vedas you are like put on a pedestal, right? You are celebrated deeply for being a mother. It recognizes the deep sacrifice of being a mother, of being a father. And so it's the same, like it's so important with what kind of people you are. Because if you have people that understand you, people that have this value, people that have the sense of oneness, there you can share yourself the way you are with your sensitivity. But if you're out in the world and people do not have this sense of oneness and they have the sense of duality, they will compete against you or with you. But if you're with people that have the same vision of the world and themselves and God, or in the process of embodying that, then they're not competing with you. They want to contribute to you. They're like, how can I help you? And you naturally want to help them. How can we grow and shine together? And not like, oh, we need to be afraid of each other. And so in the same way, Veda is really our best friend, is our best mother, our best father. She is that infinite aquifer, this well of knowledge. The mother, we call her the mother. We call her the 1,000 mothers, actually, Sahasramatra. But we also call the knowledge the father. We also call him the father, Bhagavan. And we call him also Ganesha, the elephant, and Hanuman, the sacred monkey. So it's not gender in any way restricted, because really God, Goddess, is all genders and is also free from gender. The truth of God, Goddess is love. Love, prema. And that love has no duality, has no judgments, has no fear even. That love is existence and gives existence to everything. Like the child, it comes from love, it exists in love, it goes back to love. Comes from the sacred union. You have come from the sacred union of your mother and father. And we honor that. We honor our mother and father. Because of them we are here. So today is dedicated to these sacred duties that you have as a mom, you have as a dad, you have as a teacher, you have as a student. We all have sacred duties, many, 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 many sacred duties every single day. And so I invite you to switch your understanding of your life's work into sacred duties. Start to call it sacred duties, and I tell you why. Just want to read some of your comments. I see some hearts, thank you, and stars and candles. Katarina says 28 days, so beautiful. Yes, here we are. And Christine and Patrick, it has been an amazing 28 days, so deep and so rich. Yeah. Wonderful, beautiful. So, why do I invite you to? Thank you for the hearts. Optimism rocks. Yes, optimism rocks, that is true. Why do I invite you to change your work into sacred duties? Last day, let's do a Zoom. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. I'd love that. Maybe if we do like the 36th day and then we have the 37th day, we could do a Zoom. Something like that. Let's see. I'll come up with something. So, like when you hear the word work, how does it feel in your body? Just take a moment, take a breath. I can feel how that feels in your body, work. And then say, I have to go to work. How does that feel in your body? And you can let me know in the chat if you want. Andri says, I have missed so many days, but so happy I managed to catch you today. Yeah, so good you're here live today. And you have all the recordings, so you can go back to them again and again. And I will also upload them to my YouTube channel, Sharada Devi TV on YouTube. So it's easier for you all then to find these recordings, because then with the time after a month or so, it will be hard to find these recordings. You'll find them, but you'll have to scroll down every time. So eventually I'll ask my team to upload it to YouTube, and it's easy to access. So like what comes up, like when I share with you like work, and I have to go to work. Work, like for me, work, there's a little bit of a contraction in my body. It's like work, and it feels heavy. And then also when I hear work, it feels like I have to work. Like, and we are using the word, or the two words, have to. How many times per day? Like, I invite you to count. How many times? Obligation, yes. So I have, Jasmine says, thank you for this. Sacred work sounds like a blessing and it relaxes the nervous system. Yeah, like that's so beautiful with the word sacred. It really helps to ritualize everything and neutralize its intensity. Theo says, the word work feels heavy in my body. Yeah, that's what I feel. And I've been like really with this word work, I've been sitting with it a lot for many years, because one of my things I like to do is to take every word that I have some heaviness attached to it. I say this word, and then I go into my felt sense, into the somatic, and then I release the tension that I feel around this word. And then I start to bring pleasure to it. That's part of why I love to teach embodiment, because it helps us to neutralize the judgments around any words, and that's part of our spiritual practice, actually, to see every word as the word of God. But with work, it's been really difficult. Like with work, I still feel some like contraction. It doesn't feel fully like, oh. Then when I say sacred duties, it feels very different in my body. JDF says obligation. Yeah, for you feels work like obligation. Yeah. How does obligation feel in your body? Like, does it feel, yeah, great? Or you feel like obliged and you feel restricted? I feel a little bit restriction in my throat. Ulrika says a bit heavy, yes. Mm-hmm. Rebecca, work and the feeling of having to do work makes me feel contracted and they get inside somehow. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. Erin says, work, I feel a sense of oppression and judgment. Yeah, I feel the same. Theo, there's a strain in it. Yeah. Talis Talrod says heavy and stagnant. Yeah, exactly. We all feel the same, most of us. I feel time running, I need to go. Stucking fast. Yeah, you feel that the time is running, I need to go. It feels like you have to go fast, like work. It feels like some pressure maybe, and time is running. I like that. Like you don't have enough time. Definitely, I feel very much that as well. Time. Optimism says, I wish we all found peace in work. Yes. Let's have that as a prayer. And this is exactly the initiation of today, that we can find peace in work. And how I have found it, or to a great extent, and I tell you honestly, I'm also still practicing to find this leisure, this deep, deep leisure when I do my sacred duties. For me, it really has been to change the word work into sacred duties and into play. So I'll tell you more about that. Rebecca says, sacred duties feels like an honor to do such a task. And there is much more love and reverence in the feeling of sacred duties. Exactly. Optimism says, oh, how beautiful, how apt is the timing. Yes. I like that. I like the sacred timing. It's same with timing. Like if we have like, it's got to be on time. Oh my God, so much stress. But if we say sacred timing, all in sacred timing, Jasmine, transactional and competing with balance. How much are they giving me and how much I am giving? Underlying fear of being used. Yeah, exactly. And the work, it's there, it's competing. We got to work for. And we're always like a little bit on the guard. Are they gonna cheat me? Is it gonna be equal? Or do I have to make sure that we're treated right? And then especially also the opposite, if somebody actually gives me a lot, then most of the time we are on the guard and like, oh, there must be something wrong. This is too good to be true. So in India, I have this really, really sweet example. When you go to India, I mean, I haven't been now for quite a few years, but I think it is still in many places like this. Of course, India has its shadows, and India is not perfect in any way, definitely not. Yet, when you go to a rickshaw driver, what is a rickshaw? A rickshaw are these little, either they can be on a bike or can be on a motorbike, and then you can sit behind in a little wagon, I would say so. Like a tuk-tuk in Thailand is called tuk-tuk, in India it's called rickshaw. And there are many, many rickshaw drivers. Like there's countless rickshaws everywhere to get from A to Z. Either they have this with the bike, they're actually biking, and you're like sitting behind in this little wagon. A Kutsche is like a little Kutsche in German. Or then they have a motorbike. And so, and then if you would ask them, like, can you bring me to this place? They would say, like, of course, madam, it is my sacred duty. It's my duty to bring you there. So, like, this is so ingrained in the culture that it's not their work. They're using even the word duty. Like, it is my duty. And there is even a pride. Like, I have seen that so many times. The rickshaw driver, like, I have seen also other where they've been cheating and all of that, or given to cheating. But also so many times it's been the sweetest of sweetest encounter. And there has been a pride there to drive you from A to Z. There's this, I get to drive you, and there's a joy in it and a smile in it. And the same in Bali, the devotion, the bhakti that the Balinese people have in their sacred duties. It's so moving. If you go to a restaurant in Bali, and especially the ones that now have learned to speak English, and those expat restaurants, like these great restaurants like Zest, if you go to Bali, to Ubud, that's where I live. And there's this many, countless restaurants. And then you have Zest, for example, incredible menu. And then these beautiful Balinese beings, and they come and ask you, what would you like to eat today? And so then they start to write it down. You tell them what you want, one by one. And there you can ask for all the gluten-free and soya-free and milk-free and sugar-free. And everyone is by now used to everyone having special wishes. And there's just like, oh yes, okay, totally write it down. And then after everything is written down, then they ask you, so, ma'am, can I repeat your order? And then they go step by step with so much care, with so much love, with a smile. And then you wait there, you gotta be patient because they're gonna repeat every single detail. And you're like, yes, beautiful. And then, okay, ma'am, thank you very much. Like, so much sweetness, so much love. Again, it's not everywhere anymore. Bali has changed a lot in the last 16 years where I've lived there. But still, in many places, the sweetness and the duty-oriented mind, it is still embodied. You can still find it. There's a joy, there's a gratitude, there's a pride that they can do what they're doing. And so that's why I invite also everyone to really go to a culture like that, to really experience this duty-oriented mind. It's the opposite of our Western mind. Erin says, sacred duty feels like an infinitely resourced co-creative practice. Yes. With sacred duties, it feels you have infinite resources, because you can also say, it's my duty to contribute, and then when it's over, it's over. It's not like now I need to do more than what I'm capable of doing. I do what I can. It's my sacred duty to do this, to do that, and then enoughness without feeling guilty. And with work, it feels like it's never enough, and I still am left with the sense of guilt because I wasn't able to do everything I should have done and should be doing. And so there's this sense of it's never good enough. It just is a perpetuating feeling. And with sacred duty, I feel exactly the same. It's this infinitely resourced co-creation, so beautifully expressed. Optimism Rock says, it is my dream to drive a topless rickshaw. A topless rickshaw, not the cycle, but the vehicle in Mumbai. Yes, I wish that for you. I see you already going there. Yes, it's very special. Very, very special. Yeah. So the sacred duties, we gave them also a word the last 2 days. We talked about the Pancha Maha Yajñahas. For those that have seen them, for those that are watching for the first time or hear it for the first time, Pancha means 5, Maha means big, and Yajna means offering. Pancha Maha Yajñahas. So I would say, many years ago, with the help of my teacher, I changed the word from work to sacred duty to I do my Pancha Maha Yajñahas. Pancha Maha Yajñahas. I do my 5 sacred daily offerings. And then it was a joy. It was this, I can do these sacred offerings because the whole universe is also offering all the time. The first one is dedicated to the elements, the sun, the water, the air. We're doing something exactly, Pancha Maha Yajñaha. So we are giving back, we're giving back to the Deva, the shining beings. The Pitra Yajna, we're giving back to the ancestors. We're giving back to the Rishis, the great seers. We're giving back to Manusha, our community, the people that are here. We're giving back to the Bhuta, the animals and the plants. And so we're participating in the mystery, like the 5 elements, like the trees, like the plants, like everyone is participating in the mystery. The 5 elements, the Rishis, without which we would not be speaking here about the vision of wholeness and oneness, only because of the Rishis, the great seers, and those that have kept the lineage alive. We're here today and able to inquire. Our Pitra, we saw that in the initiation number 25, if we want to go back to that. 25th days was dedicated to the ancestors. So the Veda says, in order to abide in the vision of wholeness, which is the vision of oneness, the aikyam, the oneness between the jiva, the individual, jagat, the world, Ishvara, God, in order to abide in the truth, we get to do, not have to do, I'm going to speak about that in a moment, we get to do the Pancha Maha Yajñahas. We get to do these 5 daily offerings. I spoke about them yesterday and the day before. If you want to go in depths again, the offering to the elements, the offering to the ancestors, the offering to the Rishis, the great seers, the wise people, the ones that are having a sense that we are all whole, the Manusha, our community, the people around us, and Bhuta, animal and plant. Because through these 5 daily offerings, we're sustaining, maintaining cosmic harmony. And this cosmic harmony is crucial in order to be able then to abide in the truth. And naturally, the cosmic harmony will not be for everyone and everything. Like, this will be for you, the one, the jiva, that is practicing Pancha Maha Yajñahas. And I'm saying practicing because it is a practice. It is a commitment that I want to do this Pancha Maha Yajñahas, these 5 sacred daily offerings, so that I'm experiencing this cosmic harmony between me and all beings, where I don't feel alienated, where I don't feel separated, where I don't compare myself to everything and everyone anymore, because now I know everything and everyone is me. I'm now adapting the vision of oneness. I'm having a bhava. Bhava means the sense of oneness. I maybe haven't embodied yet, because we're not going to embody this from just hearing it once. We get to hear it many, many, many times. And we get to take away the layers, the wrong notions, the wrong beliefs, the wrong judgments I have made upon myself, the world, and God. There are many wrong judgments I have made, and it takes time for them to be peeled off, right? With love and with care, in Sangha, in community, with the support. And so then the truth is revealed. Like, the truth is already here. Wholeness, oneness is nothing to be done really, but it reveals itself, and itself means yourself. Yourself is revealed in the mind that has a sense of oneness, that is in the participation mystique. Then you can see and recognize yourself. You can also recognize and see yourself in different other moments when you have glimpses of like these spiritual awakenings. I spoke about that, maybe in a psychedelic journey, maybe when you hear this song and it just moves you to tears, maybe in your love making. Like we have those moments of oneness, but they're fleeting, they come and go. And in order for that to abide, for it not to be a fleeting moment, for that not to be an experience that comes and goes, but a reality that is ever present and ever seen by you, you get to prepare yourself. And yourself means your body and mind. And your body and mind is your instrument. And through this instrument that is fine-tuned, like we've been fine-tuning our instrument the last 27 days through ritualizing our life challenge, honoring every aspect of this human existence, we're fine-tuning the instrument, and then this instrument can see itself, the truth of the instrument, which is you, that Anandoham, limitless existence, limitless fullness I am. And so the Panchamahayagnas are really the sacred duties. In other words, your work is really the Panchamahayagnyas. And so you can shift this heaviness and this I have to work in order to survive to I get to do my sacred duties. I get to do my Panchamahayagnyas. And how does that feel in your body? Let's take a moment. Like before we checked in our body how it feels to say the word work and have to. And now I invite you to check into the word I get to do my sacred duties. I get to do my Panchamahayagnyas, my 5 daily sacred offerings. And see how that feels in your body. And let me know in the chat if you want. And welcome everyone that has joined in the meantime. Satyalite, so happy you're here. Mariana, Trisa. Like when I say sacred duties, like I'm smiling, my womb is opening, I don't feel pressure in my heart. I feel like, wow, I get to contribute. What an honor that I get to contribute. And I feel like I'm playing. It feels like a play. And that's when I started to use also play. Like in my team, in Devi School, we're using the word also play. Let's play together. When are we playing? Now I'm finished playing. So we also have started to use the word play. Because it truly feels like a play when you start to see that we get to do our sacred duties. We get to chant. We get to sing to the sun. We get to teach, we get to cook, we get to take care of the animals, we get to take care of our children. It's so much leisure. There's no pressure. Because really, God is not judging you. We saw God, Goddess, is infinite intelligent being, Ishvara, Isha, like space, like the sun, which is love in its essence, and it's just doing its duty. The sun gives light. There's no being saying, I am the sun and I'm giving light to you and you have to pay me for me giving you light. The water doesn't say, I'm water and I'm giving you water and you need to pay me water or money now for water. No. Nature just gives. And so, of course, we are living in a system where we relatively need some money, unless you are self-sustainable somewhere in the country, have solar panels and food, but most of us, like money is part of our life now. And so we also get to play that play. So many of you are sharing here. Katarina says pleasure, amazing. Sandra, it feels joyful and relaxing. Oh, Rebecca, I love this. What an honor it is that we get to contribute. Theo, it feels uplifting, like effortless flow, supported by divine energy to bring the action to fruit. Exactly. I also feel that, like supported by by God, Goddess, by the divine, by the universe, to bring your action to fruit. Like, the whole universe is supporting me to be me and to be a contributor. It wants me to contribute, but it doesn't want me to suffer. The world does not want you to suffer. God doesn't want you to suffer. Marianna says, I feel blessed. Yeah. Let's feel that for a moment. Just a blessing that we get to contribute. And breathe into that. Let that sink into your body, into every cell of your body. Breathe into it. Maybe you want to exhale with a sound. And releasing the tension of the pressure. The idea, the belief that I have to. You exhale that out. And inhale, I get to. And exhale and offer back the idea that I have to do anything, because it is simply not true. And can you see the truth that the fact that there's nothing in this whole universe that you have to do? Like, every time you say, I have to, it is not true. It is simply not true. And so we have a value of satyam, of truth. Like, because we want to know the truth. We want to abide in the truth, which is wholeness, which is oneness. So if I want to abide and get to the truth, I would say I have to. But even then, I get to speak the truth. And that is why, like, Vak tapas, to speak the truth, it's the most important sadhana. Satyam bruya, to speak the truth. Priyam bruya, to say it in a way that is kind. Hitam bruya, I say it when it's ultimately good. Anudvega bruya, I say it if it doesn't hurt anyone. But it's crucial that I speak the truth. And so you see, does it resonate for you? It might not be like that for you. For me, if I say I have to, I'm not speaking the truth. I know it. Because I know there's nothing that I have to do. Like, literally. And so I invite you to see if that's true for you. You can inquire into that now. You can inquire into that tomorrow and the day after, and just see. Is it really true? And do you still want to continue saying that? I have to. I've been practicing now to not say I have to and substitute it, because we get to substitute it with something by saying I get to. And I've been practicing this now for years, and it's still sometimes a little weird, but less and less it's weird. Has become the norm, and as natural, as even more natural, and actually it feels real than when I said I have to. I say I get to. And people sometimes look at me like, what? And I just say it, even though it's weird. But what is weird, even the word weird, like, actually, W-E-I-R-D, it came from the word, as far as I know, W-Y-R-D, which actually means is a moment of change, a possibility for something to shift. And so every time it feels weird, it's actually a really great sign that something can shift in this moment. You can shift a pattern. You're about to shift a pattern. Don't you want to shift your patterns? I want to shift my patterns. That's why we're doing the Ritualise Our Life Challenge, because we want to change the patterns. And so if it's weird, great sign. So you can see, I get to wake up, I get to brush my teeth, I get to drink water, I get to the toilet, I get to take a shower, I get to dress. See how that feels in your body. Instead of saying, I have to go to bed, I have to wake up, I have to take a shower, I have to eat, I have to pray, I have to make a phone call. Ugh. I get to pray, I get to cook, I get to go shopping, I get to go to the toilet, I get to drink, I get to teach. Like, wow, for me, there's such a big difference in my body. I get to do my sacred duties. Mariana says, for me, I have tried the last couple of years to, instead of saying I have to, ask, do I really have to do XYZ? Most of the times it is no. And then I consciously choose to do it or no with full will. Yes, exactly. This is what we want to get to make a conscious choice and a conscious prayerful action from the place that you want to do it. Like if it comes from the place of fullness, of gratitude, of leisure, then the result will be leisure, will be beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so wow, time just passes. Incredible. As though passes, like my teacher would say, like when we are resolved in the knowledge, in truth, then time dissolves. Like and 1 hour has gone like 1 minute, and that's how I have sat with my teachers sometimes for hours and hours and hours, and 6 hours passed, and I like, wow, we haven't eaten, we haven't drunk water, and we've just been dissolved in the truth, in us, and it's so wonderful. So here, day 28, our contribution, our technology actually. So here we are like honoring our contribution, our sacred duties. And so the first part is that may my words, my actions, my thoughts be aligned. We also already saw a little bit of that in the initiation number 22 when we did the ointment ritual. And here again also now we're saying this before you actually start to do your sacred duties. So this is my invitation to do this ritual like before you sit in front of your computer, before you start your job. So may my words, my actions and thoughts be aligned. May I walk on the path of dharma towards moksha. Because you go out into your day, or maybe you are doing your sacred duties at home, and maybe you have a work, a duty place, like a sacred place, and then you also make that place beautiful. And I have this in the slides also, that you make your desk, like you put flowers, and you can put incense and candles, and you make a whole altar out of your table, out of your office, for example. And so then the office turns into a wizard's laboratory, like where you make potions and when you create your magic. And so you turn the whole, which once upon a time was a workspace and like a very dull, boring place where you don't want to go to, but you feel like you have to go to. No, turn it into your laboratory, into your witch or wizard place, into your most magnificent playroom, and you add all the different things, and essence and flowers, and bring chocolates and nice yummy drinks, and then we offer flowers to the items. Actually, we're going to see that. So, but what is important is that, like, I want to walk on the path of dharma. So as I'm fulfilling my duties, as I'm fulfilling my desires, may be within dharma. So dharma is a word for universal values, that which is in accordance with the law of nature, that which will bring good fortune, that which will bring abundance and prosperity to all beings. So when we're on the path of dharma, we are as a contributor. We're not as a competitor, and we're walking towards moksha. Moksha is a word for liberation. Liberation is another word for the vision of oneness, the truth. Liberation means to abide in the truth of yourself that is whole and complete, one with all beings. Isn't that where we all want to go to? So then, may I use the tools that are given? So what are the tools? My computer, my Shruti box, my car, your boat. We have all these tools. My phone. May I use the tools that are given, not abuse or misuse them. Right? These tools, we call them sarasvatyai tools. Sacred technology, sacred instrument, the book, whatever it is that you're using, you're now asking them for these tools to be used, not abused nor misused. That's what we do when we work often, like we're misusing and abusing. When we do sacred duties, we're using what is given. I am beginning my duties. I am beginning my studies. Like if you're a student and you study, you can also get lost in your studies, where we're overstudying and we're studying in order to prove that I know so much. Like again, that's the competitive mind, the mind that lags, the mind that is inadequate. No, I study for the grace of loving to know what is ultimately true, to abide in the fullness of our existence, to learn about God, Goddess, in the form of biology, in the form of psychology, in the form of physiology, in the form of any ology. I love to inquire because I get to know the infinite as the relative, as the limited. So I'm beginning my studies with the blessing of the Goddess of knowledge. So in the Vedic tradition, we're honoring that everything that we're learning or doing our sacred duties, the work, it's all Saraswati's grace. Right? The Goddess, Saraswati, we have given all this knowledge, an entity, a being, so that we can relate to it, so that we can establish a relationship to it. And not abuse it, not misuse it, but honor it, serve it. So the mantra, we've been chanting this every day. I'm hreem. I'm hreem. There's now 2 E. Usually it's an I with a long line on top. Okay? In the Devanagari, in the transliteration, if it's transliterated, the Devanagari, the Sanskrit script, the double E, it would be an I with a long line on top. I'm hreem om sarasvatyai namaha. I'm hreem om sarasvatyai namaha. So I'm hreem, E is always long. Om, O is always long. Sarasvatyai, Sa, the sibilants, Sa, Sha, and Sha are always strong. They have a puff in your heart and belly. Sarasvatyai. And then on the Takara, where the T is, you keep the tongue a little bit longer. Sarasvatyai namaha. Hreem is a bija mantra, is one of the seed syllable mantras, and it invokes auspiciousness. It's the mantra of Shakti. So it's the whole universe in unmanifest condition, as what we see, hear, smell, taste, touch is the vyakta, we call it the manifest. And then there's countless in the unmanifest, like when we go to deep sleep, the whole world is in unmanifest condition. So all the potential is in hreem. Whatever you want to manifest in your life, even the things you don't know that you want to manifest, but you want the auspicious, you want that which is Shri, hreem, that which is auspicious, that which is prosperous, that which is abundant, that which is valuable, is hreem, like the infinite abundance is all in hreem, and this infinite potential is in hreem. And with your intention and with your devotion of chanting it, it then will manifest in the manifest condition, in the vyakta, in the waking state, because we call it manifest in the waking state. So then, and Aim is the bija mantra of Sarasvati. And Sarasvati is the goddess of knowledge, the goddess of all our duties, the goddess of all the contributions. Namaha, my deep reverence and salutation. And so we've been chanting this. We can chant it together and then we end. Here, if you have, you can take a flower, offer a flower to your computer, offer a flower to your instrument, offer a flower to your pen, offer a flower to your phone, offer a flower to the light, this LED light, offer a flower to your car. In Bali, every 6 months we have car and bicycle puja ritual. So we wash and we do ritual to the bikes, the cars, and then we do ritual to the house. We do ritual to the animals. In India, there's this big ritual for the cows, because that is how, this is Bhagavan, is the goddess in the form of this whole universe, including all our tools and cars and technology. And so let's offer Saraswati mantra. And we offer flowers, and you can visualize having a flower in your heart, from your heart, offer it to all the tools that you're using day in, day out. Aim, hreem, om, sarasvatyai namaha. 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 3 more times. Aim, hreem, om, sarasvatyai namaha. Aim, hreem, om, sarasvatyai namaha. Aim, hreem, om, sarasvatyai namaha. Oh. Thank you, everyone. This was our initiation 28. And we're going to close here. I'm going to close with a bhajan for Saraswati. If you want, you can stay. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful moment. And if we wake up, I'll see you tomorrow for day 29th. Make sure about the time. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'm trying to be here on the same time, 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time. But it could be that I'm a little bit late because of train and everything, but I will just post them in the a story or something. I'm going to be part of a yoga teacher training. I'm sometimes hired as a yoga philosophy teacher since many years, which I love to do. And so tomorrow I'm going there. So thank you so much for being present. And I'm going to offer this bhajan to Saraswati. And I just got this new shruti. My shruti was given to a very dear friend, some of you know, Marjorie, 90-year-old woman who loved the shruti. And so we gave it to her from us, her group. And then I got a new one. And so I just got it today. So let me know if it's too loud. And I hope it works here with the Instagram. Sarasvati, 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 Vidyarupini, Sarasvati, Vidyarupini, Sarasvati, Sakala Kalavani, Sarasvati, Jayati, Jayati, Sarasvati, Jayati, Sarasvati, 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 Vidyarupini, Sarasvati, Vidyarupini, Sarasvati, Sakala Kalavani, Sarasvati, Sarasvati, Sarasvati. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prathavi Sasya Shalini Desho Yamksho Bharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayah Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhatrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Pratyorma Amratangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you, everyone. Swastihi means moksha, freedom. May there be freedom from pain for all beings. And may we see the sacred in all beings. May we never be afraid of each other. And so it is. Much love.